You can listen to some of the songs I mentioned in this episode and more when you search for the hashtag A3Day Highlights playlist on Spotify. It's publicly available for all listeners who have Spotify. For my Anchor.fm exclusive listeners, you're able to hear a medley of select songs from each group's full discography during my Final Thoughts segment. Immerse yourself in some music and put a smile on your face. An album a day is my exploration into the Korean music scene. This podcast will cover mainstream, indie, and some underground artists within the scene and provide both factual and opinionated commentary. The biggest benefit to sharing my thoughts this way is that it will hopefully expose you to more great music and exploration of your own.
You're tuned into An Album a Day. Show, start.
Hello, everyone. It's finally time for Final Thoughts for 21's discography, and you might hear some passing conversation in the background. Try to make it as far away as possible. You know, I've been gone a couple of days. I've been traveling, but I'm definitely going to have to get back on the ball about a schedule beginning next week. So that will be November 4th. Like, I have to give y'all my honest to goodness guaranteed word. Why? Because my podcast is getting more distribution thanks to you all listening to it. Literally at this very moment, 16 hours ago, I'm opening the email right here, right now on this recording. It says, good news. Your podcast, Multifaceted ACG Presents An Album a Day, has been reviewed and approved for publication on Google Play Music. So finally, your podcast is scheduled to go live today. Please note that it takes approximately 24 hours for your podcast to become searchable in the store. Thank you for being part of Google Play Music. It's like, what? Straight up. Now, I'm very excited about that because, of course, you know, you've heard the advertisement. Like, I roll hard with Anchor. I've been with Anchor for a couple of years now. However, with this particular podcast, I was not in a space where they could do the automatic distribution for me. I honestly had to put everything together, find my RSS feed, which they easily provide. I didn't even intend for this to be a pitch, but I might as well speak the honest truth. They provide it within your podcaster dashboard, and I had to send it off to everywhere that it's available. So it being available on Spotify, being available on iTunes. Now, finally, after 27 X amount of episodes, is finally available for those who use Google Play. I'm very, very, very thrilled about that. And also, 48 hours ago, I got the approval to be on iHeartRadio. So things are growing. Things are doing well. And that also means I'm going to have to actually put myself back in front of the camera at times to record some of the podcasts for the appropriate YouTube channel. So like I'm excited. Don't get me wrong. Otherwise, I wouldn't drop this information right now. But it also does mean that I'm going to have to make myself more accountable for everyone. I don't know if the videos are going to come back on the 4th as well, because this weekend is going to be intense for me. This is already a late recording. I try to release them at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, but this is well after 8 a.m. So I don't know if things will be set up for me to be able to do that on Monday. But I'm going to get back to it. My word is my bond, and I most certainly am behind on the Great Moments YouTube channel. That's supposed to be the twin to everything that's going on here. Also, let's see what else. I got something from Headliner as well. I don't know if you've all heard of them, but they do podcast videos, which is really dope. Wow, really dope. Wow, good job. Really dope. Add your podcast using the big blue and pink gradient button in Headliner. Select if you want video clips from new episodes delivered to you daily, weekly, and or whenever you publish a new episode. And that's it. Sit back and relax. We'll automatically turn your podcast into shareable videos. That will be absolutely wonderful if it works the way I need to. I guess I'm going to have to look a little bit further into that. I also intend on returning the station head to be able to give you all that Friday mix again. A lot of stuff, a lot of things going on. But enough about that. Let's get into these final thoughts, shall we? Because you have waited a good chunk of time. My goodness. First and foremost, of course, the show is truly supported by the efforts of my Megwalas, the most amazing fan base, a little entertainer who's hoping for larger distribution, such as myself could ever have. Special shout out to my Patreon patrons. That's the student body and the scholars who keep my vision of becoming your favorite Korean music historian, exploring of the industry from A to Z, a real thing. If you're interested in supporting the growth of this podcast and supporting my content, please visit patreon.com/multifacetedACG. And for as little as $1 a month, you can help me save up for lighting that I can actually record the video component to this show in better quality with. So, 21. I have cried, I have fangirled, and everything in between. K-pop fans on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being essential listening and 1 not worth mentioning, the A3-day rating for the entire discography of 21 is a 4. Now, if we were doing this numerically by adding things up and really looking at the forest for the trees, it should be higher. But I'm going to justify it as a 4 for some factual, semi-factual, and totally Ashley, you are extra reasons. So, the 4 for the factual is that the group did not, the group did not have the longevity in terms of production that one would hope to show a variety of growth. And that's not discrediting the work of singles. Now, when we've talked about them, we've talked about a collection of albums. They released far more music than that, but this show is called an album a day, not a single a day, not an OST a day, not a commercial music video a day. So you only had a handful of albums, but you have all of these singles. Like, I didn't talk about Falling in Love, which was a summer bop, Do You Love Me, I Love You, which was eventually slapped onto one of their live albums and whatnot. But you got all these extra singles going on that in and of themselves should have been on an album or could have been in an album all on their own. They only released them as digital singles or physical singles. And that takes away from showing the amount of diversity that the ladies brought to the table. There was a massive jump from one album to another in terms of what went on with production, especially when you take the song Ugly into consideration. Straight up rock song. And the ladies nailed it. So I can't give them a 5 because some of their more creative sounds and creative work was withheld from us on a collective album. It was only accessible individually. The semi-factual reason for why I give them a 4, the semi-factual is that they were promoted, but not promoted enough. And having that massive collective behind them for distribution purposes certainly helped. I'm not saying that the ladies wouldn't have had appeal of their own, but their vibe and their style, not their sound, let me be clear, their vibe and their style was right on par with 4 Minute, who was at a opposing label. So there wasn't something that was drastically unique about them. If anything, FX was the most unique in terms of appearance and having a androgynous member at the time, because that's not exclusively new at this point. But yeah, you had Hyuna and the girls, aka 4 Minute. She wasn't the leader, but she was most definitely the star. And there were more members in that group than it was 21, but these ladies debuted fairly close to each other and brought the same edginess and rawness to the table. They were like the younger manifestations of what Brown Eyed Girls brought to the table. We'll get to them very soon. We'll be out of the numbers and into the letters very soon. So I can't give them a 4 on that. And again, I said it's semi-factual. There are some facts there, but some of it is just my opinion. The absolute full-fledged opinion-based only reason that I gave them a 4 is because the group was a foursome. And I just wanted it to stay that way. So I gave them a 4. I didn't want to give a 4.5. I didn't want to throw that off. They're a 4. And no matter what they do in their lovely, delightful spare time, they'll always be a 4 in my heart and the heart of many other long-term fans. So that's the cheesy, oh, Ashley, that's so precious reason that they got an overall 4. And that's been the first overall 4 we've had in a while. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I really am. Because I think, and I'm going to crack up. Wait, let me go back in the record, y'all. Okay, so former label mates, one time, they were also overall 4 too. Interesting. So far, JYP Entertainment is out here slugging with 4.5s and 5s. Interesting. Not to say there's anything actual factual to it. I just find it interesting. So, I'm pleased with being able to talk about them and not further the redonkulous emotions of weeping and everything as I talk about it. Just I was severely in my feels about it. I had my reasons and I articulated those reasons. It's not like I just burst into tears on the track and was just like, deal with it, you guys, I can't live. So that's not what it was. That's not what it was. But I also said that I wanted to share some snippets of the music with you. So those of you who are Anchor exclusive listeners, it's awesome that you'll be able to hear some of the highlights from some of their music as I prepare to talk a little bit more about them. So let's get into the music. Yes? I totally forgot how abrupt these little music clips are in this experience. I have zero jurisdiction over this, but I started it off with Fire. Fire was not the first song I heard by them, not in the least bit. But I've already talked about the iconic, I go by the name of Ciela 21. It's been a long time coming, but we're here now. The thing that makes it a big staple and why I decided to add it to the playlist is because it's the beginning of the legacy of Eh. Yeah, like exactly what you heard is what I mean. The legacy of Eh. Every single 21 album at some point has an Eh in it, an EH. The chorus of this was to anyone, you better ring the alarm. Having them A's have come up so many times throughout their album history. Like, I don't know if Teddy and them got lazy at this point and was like, ain't nobody gonna pay attention to it. But it honestly became a thing that is extremely noticeable in pretty much anything they have from every every album. So I'm literally going on Google right now. I'm trying to find how many songs have Eh in it. So 21 Fire has Eh, but there's other songs as well. I keep falling in love. Now Uh-oh is not quite an Eh, but it's still the same vibe. It's still the same vibe. 21 and saying Eh in songs. Like, it's been a lot of them. Oh man, and like now that I'm talking about it, I can't even think of one. My top 10 21 songs. Yeah, there we go. Hey. I don't care. I don't care. Go away. Ooh. Like, Them and the A's is real, y'all. Like, oh, I'm finding something right here on Facebook. Let's see if it'll pull up. And for those of you who are just experiencing the final thoughts for the first time with me, like, they are a haphazard, completely unscripted kind of experience. 21 comes back with passion. 21 is all in. This is written by someone with the initial simply K. Updated about 8 years ago. Stab me in the heart. The ones who have started their comeback, Park Bones and Dada Park, Gong Minji, CL Story of Passion. Why is it like this? Why is it like this? Ooh, this is hilarious. Yeah, it's just something that they go through. And if you don't really believe me, listen to their discography and you'll start to identify it. I put a big smile on, but I don't look like how I look. I'm not pretty, I'm not beautiful. Oh, 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 oh. Ah, ugly. Some of the most amazing lyrics. I sing a song, but no one listens to me. I'm not pretty, I'm not beautiful. Why am I this unattractive? How can I smile beautifully like you? I get mad again. Why am I never perfect? I complain again, looking at my ugly self through the broken mirror. Don't look at me. I don't like this feeling. I want to hide somewhere. I want to get out. This world is full of lies, 'cause I think I'm ugly. And nobody wants to love me. Just like her, I wanna be pretty. I wanna be pretty. Don't lie to my face, telling me I'm pretty. So, Ugly. Ugly was featured on their second album. I'm reaching into my memory when all I have to do is look it up. But the English translation of it, and it's not performed in English with the exception of the chorus and a portion prior to the song going off where they say, I'm all alone, I'm all alone. That's pretty much the only English. So the chorus is fully in English, but the rest of the song is in Korean. And the context of this song, yes, there's a bit of a backstory to it, but I'm going to tell you the side of it from a fan's perspective first. So one time, all of YG Entertainment was on a variety show. It was called Strong Heart. And it was made mention by the members of 21 how the CEO, well, former, at the time of this recording, CEO of YG Entertainment had noted that the young ladies were not the most physically appealing, which is a crock of turkey dong. But it affected them, but didn't take away from how they felt the best means of expressing it, which would be behind the microphone on a stage on an album. So being able to talk about not feeling like they're enough and feeling presentable enough, yes, of course, it works in a relationship context, an intimate relationship context, but it could work just the same as their opinions about the things of what their jerky CEO said about them. So I love the way that the song comes on. Everyone has an opportunity to really shine in this. But the first chorus, not the first chorus, the intro of the song, which I sang in English, it starts with CL and then it starts with Bone. And like, it's good. 밖에 웃어보지 마. 내 맘에 들지 않아. 난 예쁘지 않아. 아름답지 않아. Oh, 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 oh. I love the way it goes. It's a slight variation of the lyrics from CL's part to Bone's 너를 보지 마. 아무도, I gotta think. 아무도 들지 않아. It's 듣지 않아. 나 예쁘지 않아. Yeah, slight change. Because the first way around is I put on a big smile, but I don't look like how I look. I don't like how I look, I mean. And then the second was I sing a song, but no one listens to me. And the I'm not pretty, I'm not beautiful is the same. But I love the power of two of the most dynamic vocals in the group delivering on that. And although this might have resonated more personally for her because of the physical transformations that she's gone through from pre-debut to current time, it's so interesting. It's so interesting looking back on it. I sing a song, but no one listens to me. At a time, she was one of the most distinct voices in the entire pop game that was just incomparable. And to an extent, it's been compromised now because of some of the surgeries that she's chosen to have, and some which were a little bit more necessary than others. And then for CL, I put on a big smile, but I don't like how I look. She's always talked about, how there's been opinions. Well, of course you wouldn't know. Y'all looking at me like, we're listening to you, Ashley. We don't see what you're doing. I know, guys, soon, I promise. But there's always been comments and compliments, so both positive and negatives, about the spacing of her eyes or her nose or the weight that she does or doesn't gain. So it's very interesting looking back at this now, what they have experienced over the course of their time within the industry and how this song ties into it. And I adore it. All right, so it was like 2013. I got into K-pop October 1st, 2012. And this was the second KCON in Los Angeles. I distinctly remember that there was a series of choreography that you could learn from some of the artists who were present then. And you learned Wisdom Tooth or Rumpum from FX. You learned Crayon from G-Dragon and a few other artists, but those two I specifically remember because I loved the choreography and I had already learned it on my own just from watching. So when it was time for G-Dragon stuff, I was at the KCON Dance All Day tent, and I was a hardcore YG artist fan at the time. And if you danced well enough during the choreography breakout sessions and whatnot, someone from the facilitators of the experience, they would give you a golden ticket to come back later and dance for a prize. You don't necessarily know what the prize is. Maybe it was better concert tickets. You're not too certain, but you know it's a prize. Well, I danced my behind off the Crayon and I got one of the golden tickets. So the second day of KCON, because all the concerts used to be on one day, the second day, I went back to the tent for my scheduled time and they asked me what I wanted to dance to, and I turned around and I said, 네, 여러분, 안녕하세요. 저는 애슐리입니다. 오늘 춤 21 내가 제일 잘 나가. And everybody was like, whoa! First off, they were tripping because I got up and I started speaking Korean, which is insane. Now that I look back on it, the naivety of it all, it really makes you jump in and learn as quickly as possible. And now I struggle. But it was the fact that I picked I Am the Best. And, this is a song that people definitely know. And the amount of smack that these women are speaking on this song is everything. I am articulating with every fiber of my lips, my teeth, the tip of my tongue. I am the best. I am the best. I am the best. I am the best. The best. B. That's CL kicking off the chorus. It's so arrogant. Whoever looks at me can see I'm kind of a killer, all right? This body is second to none, all right? Like, you're following behind me, but I'm only running forward. I jump on top of the table you're sitting at. I don't care. If you touch me, you won't be able to handle it. I'm hot, hot, hot fire. Before I flip something over, please, can someone stop me? I open my closet and put on the freshest outfit. The reflection of my face in the mirror, I carefully check it over. Right now it's 8. I'm supposed to meet up at 8:30 tonight. I set out with bold steps because I'm the best. Like, what? The arrogance. Who? You are better than me? No. Nah. Who? You are better than me? No. Nah. Like, oh my God. Like, The drip, I'm hunched over my desk. I'm not crying, y'all. I'm just taken over by the joy of how arrogant this song was. It's like you're going to see what I bring to the table and you're gonna die. You can't handle how dope I am. Teddy wrote the mess out of this doggone song, and it's just, the video is extravagant to the point of it just being like ridiculous, dripping in diamonds. There's a part in the video where they're shattering glass and things and plaques that they've earned. Like, it's just like, it's such an anthem. It's such an anthem. I even gave it to one of my good girlfriends who was professionally running track. I gave the phrase to her on a t-shirt for when she was doing her warm-ups, because we manifest destiny over here. We manifest truth, and she was one of the best at the time. So the irony of it all, years later, 2017 KCON, I believe, in New York, an opportunity again at a dance tent. And I got up and I danced to CL's Hello Bitches, which is another strong female anthem. And I ended up winning far better tickets than were provided to me initially for both myself and my sister. So, you know, if I'm going to go and cut up an entire dance floor, you best believe 21 is going to be somewhere there. And I'm just going to leave you with a snippet of their final song as a group to close this off, because I can't give you the whole thing of I am the best. In a snippet, it's just not worth it. You have to look for it. So I love these women. I greatly value them. Will always be a fan. Always supportive of what they do. And you can't tell me that there was a group doper than them during their time. You just can't. A lot came close. And some were legendary in other ways. But when it comes to my bias list, 21 reigns supreme. Still. Bye, y'all.